Everyone, Sean Williams here with the Williams team at Remax Premier Properties, kicking off the new year in 2021, coming to you to discuss a pretty basic topic we hear a lot about, but something that we feel is very important. We want to keep this short and sweet, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to give a quick little introduction if you all will give a wave. Down below me, I've got Katie Hunley. Over here in the corner, I've got Stephanie Shacklet. And over to the other side of me, I've got Christopher Adams. So we want to talk about the 5 benefits of home ownership. And that's one of the things that a lot of people hear a lot about. It'll be a good refresher for those that currently own a home, but also for those that are thinking about getting into the marketplace, especially with how many people want to buy houses right now. It's absolutely crazy with these low interest rates. So we just want to hit on these points really quick. I'm going to throw it over to you, Stephanie, and tell us benefit number 1.
Well, I guess the first benefit, it seems kind of obvious, but it's something maybe some people don't think about. Is just the flexibility of being able to customize your space and make it your own. Whether that's just, if you're renting, you don't want to put time and energy into painting walls, removing wallpaper, or, replacing a drafty window, or, updating appliances. That's the kind of stuff where you own that property, you're a lot more likely to spend your weekend painting walls than you are if you're renting it. And these modifications and improvements are something that I think improve your quality of life, whether or not you acknowledge it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of leases stipulate what you can and can't do to the property. And, if you want to update the kitchen, well, either your landlord's not going to let you do it, or if you do it, when you move out, you don't get that back. So definitely just having, with so many people with the pandemic living at home or being at home, just being able to kind of make it your own is really nice. All
Yeah.
right. Benefit number 2, Chris, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Yeah, one of the big benefits right now, with it being that the first of the year, is tax season. And with tax season, you got all your deductions. And one of the things you can deduct is your mortgage interest. So all the interest you pay throughout the year, you can deduct that in this upcoming tax season. You can also deduct your property taxes along with that as well. So a couple things that you may not think about, but another one that most people don't think about is a capital gains tax exclusion, to where all the gain you get from selling a house, you can exclude that from your taxes. The only requirement that is you got to make that your primary house 2 out of the last 5 years. So a pretty easy requirement to meet. So it's just one of those things where, just if you have any questions, contact a tax professional and they can walk you through it.
Yeah, the tax laws are always changing, but those are definitely the big things. You get some nice deductions, and if that property appreciates, then you may not have to pay tax on that appreciation potentially. So, on that note, that kind of leads into the next benefit, number 3. Katie, tell us about wealth building.
Yeah. So a beautiful thing about owning a home is being able to build your wealth over time by just owning the home. Each month you pay towards the principal, which pays the principal down. And over the years, you're expecting the appreciation to go up. And in that gap, you're finding equity. And a lot of people are seeing that to be able to use for their down payment on their next home. So in average appreciation is roughly 3%. Now we've seen greater averages over the last few years, and it's really paid off for people. Another thing that allows you to build the wealth over the years that you own is just doing improvements, just upgrading a kitchen, installing granite countertops, redoing a bathroom, updating flooring or paint. Just by doing that, just makes your home build equity just by doing that. So it's beauty. It's a beauty thing. Beautiful thing.
Yep. It can be a little bit of a slow process, but you're right. Prices have been skyrocketing, so you get that benefit. Every month that you pay down your principal, you get that benefit too. So you start creating that equity gap there. And then, like you said, you do some home improvements, you spruce up your kitchen or your bathroom, and that's going to increase your value potentially. So all great things to benefit from over the long haul. Chris, I'm going to throw it back to you. Tell us about benefit number 4.
Uh, Benefit number 4 would be cheaper than renting. With interest rate, everyone's all gathered around this interest rates with it being so low. I know I had a couple of clients recently get below a 3% interest rate. So with that cheap interest rate, then it's going to be cheaper than renting. Possibly, you can find a house that's actually yours in possibly the same area, if not, one of those desired locations that you really want to move into one day. Could happen sooner rather than later with it being such low interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing people worry about with renting, they don't have to if they're renting, they don't have to worry about doing the repairs themselves, calling the repair people, paying the repairs. But in all honesty, all that stuff is built into your monthly rent anyway. So you're paying for it in one payment versus, calling a contractor or repair person to come out and paying them each time. It's just all built into your monthly rental payment.
Yeah, usually your landlord's going to factor in the rent that they're going to have to make some repairs on your behalf. But we are seeing a lot of people where your mortgage may be cheaper than a similar house in a similar area for what the rent is. Now, people are going to ask about, well, man, I gotta come up with a down payment, but we got options here that are 3%, 5%, 3.5%. There's some loans with VA and USDA that are 0%. So there's a lot of options out there. So definitely, it can be cheaper potentially on a monthly basis. All right, now let's wrap this up with benefit number 5. I'm going to let Stephanie and Katie kind of tag team this one. So, Stephanie, what's benefit number 5?
Benefit number 5 is just pride of ownership. Being able to bring your friends and family over to a space that is totally yours, and that is a reflection of who you are. I think it really does something to your self-esteem and just your happiness and your health. And it's just something that I think you kind of overlook, but once you're in a new space that's your own, you reap a lot of benefits from.
Get the warm fuzzies.
Exactly. Something else is just statistically, when there are people in a neighborhood that actually own the properties, there's typically less crime rate. Some of these neighborhoods with HOAs also bring a sense of community. Whether or not the neighborhoods get together for 4th of July events and picnics and things like that, or even if you're in a neighborhood that doesn't have a homeowners association, just being able to take pride in your property and keep up with it because you want the neighborhood to look good and you're a part of it.
For sure.
Yeah, and also with owning a home, you're going to have more privacy versus being in an apartment. So it's nice. You really get the luxury of having your own home and understanding that it's yours and it's more private. And the other thing is being able to make it your own, like I had discussed earlier, being able to make improvements and then also seeing your equity grow from that, and you're not making the improvements for a landlord.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, these are all things that you can't put a number on. We've talked about tax benefits and building wealth, but there's really something to be said for that pride of ownership and just really having a place to call your own. So all great things as we head into 2021. If you're thinking about buying a house for the first time, these are all great things to consider. Obviously, we'd love to talk to you more in depth, any one of us. If you currently have a house that you're living in, we know a lot of people are trying to take advantage of those interest rates to continue to build wealth and just really need more space. With so many more people doing things at home, we find that a lot of people still want to make the space their own, but they're probably stretching the boundaries of their home in some cases. So whatever it may be, we would love to assist you with that. And we'd obviously love to sit down with you in person or virtually. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.